Greetings. Something has happened that requires me to do a small postscript to my three-part Solar Singularity series, which you can see in this video in the upper right-hand corner. I did part 1 of that series on May 13th, 2024, because I felt that a solar singularity was now undeniable. It was a foregone conclusion and it is upon us. We are about to see a tremendous transformation of the entire energy matrix of the world with double benefit for poorer developing countries, not all of them, but those that are doing well in solar, because they are about to get a huge boost in low-cost energy, which will be very transformative, and we'll see a lot of them progress very quickly. A lot of assumptions you have about poor countries may have to be adjusted in a few years' time because they are going to progress a lot. So look what the latest cover of The Economist is, June 22nd through June 28th, 2024. They're saying, Dawn of the Solar Age, a special issue. This is a special issue which they don't do all that often, and they're doing this 5 weeks after my three-part series. Now, while I highly doubt that there are people at The Economist who are deciding the pipeline of cover stories, etc., who are looking at my content and keeping tabs on this channel, I called it before they did, 5 weeks before they did, because this is something I have been observing for a very long time, and I knew that now is the time to talk about a solar singularity. So that is why you watch this channel, because I am consistently ahead of the curve on so many different areas of futurism, technological, economic, and so forth. Not to mention that their cover image is actually drawing from 2001: A Space Odyssey, the monolith. They are thinking in terms of a singularity, technological, cognitive, everything. I have no way of knowing for sure, but this would be the exact type of thing that they would put out if someone at The Economist were watching my channel very closely. But anyway, if you want to read their articles, you can get the issue of The Economist for that week that I just mentioned, either hard copy or soft copy on the web, if you subscribe on their website. And yes, a solar singularity is upon us, and I called it before a more authoritative source did the same thing. So now it's really happening for real. And the second topic I want to address is how US political debate is very, very anti-intellectual on the subject of solar from both the formal left and the formal right. And I have many videos on this channel describing how our current two-party system is a guaranteed failure over enough time, and how both parties become less and less intelligent because of the very nature of the two-party system. US Republicans like to say that solar energy will never happen simply because the technology was not viable in the 1980s or the 1990s for any long-term, large-scale deployment. Therefore, they think that is still true now. They have no concept of exponential change. They make exactly the same arguments against electrical vehicles as though there are not already tens of millions of electrical vehicles that are in use. They say the same about solar. Because solar was not viable in 2001, it is never going to be viable. They just don't want to keep up with any type of technology, which is why they are incapable of any accurate predictions of any sort. But in their favor, they point to incidents and failures like Solyndra. What was Solyndra? From 2005 through 2011, as we can see here from Wikipedia, there was this company for photovoltaics that was created. It was meant to create cylindrical panels of copper, indium, gallium, selenide, thin film solar cells. Thin film was a technology that many people were optimistic about then, but it did not ultimately become the winning technology. Unfortunately for Solyndra, it was too tied to the Democratic Party and the Obama administration, because in 2009, the Obama administration co-signed $535 million of loans to Solyndra. Now here in Silicon Valley, where I lived then as well, it was very obvious that this was not a real tech company because the Solyndra facility was not in the location where you would normally locate this type of tech company doing what is called deep technology, something highly scientific. It was instead in Fremont, very near to the BART station, so that there could be easy transportation access from a lot of Obama's allies in Oakland, California. So this was something that the Democratic Party wanted to colonize. They're very good at creating what are known as make-work jobs or no-show jobs in a number of industries that are very government entangled. So in addition to government jobs themselves, universities, healthcare, etc., all have these make-work jobs. And now with this green energy narrative regarding climate change, technology became a very, very attractive place to colonize for a lot of graft and political quid pro quo. Unfortunately, in the technology industry, you actually have to have a product that can demonstrate itself. There's a point at which you can't just pitch and hype things up. You actually have to show a working product. And this failed very, very quickly. Even though the $535 million of loans were in 2009, the company filed for bankruptcy on September 1st, 2011. So this was a very blatant attempt at corruption, graft, and cronyism that failed. And since that time, the parasites who want to colonize the entire private sector with this type of make-work jobs and graft have become more adept at this because parasites are very adaptable. But Republicans like to point to this as proof that solar energy will never work anywhere in the world, ignoring the fact that solar is doing very well in China, in India, and in the United States itself. Because Solyndra happened, and it ended in 2011, therefore solar is still just an imaginary thing in 2024. So like I said, both sides of the US political system are extremely anti-intellectual, and neither side is worthy of support, and the reaction to solar energy photovoltaics is indicative of that, as are so many other things. So these were the 2 points that I wanted to bring up in this postscript to my 3-part Solar Singularity series. The first point, of course, was the most important one, that I called it a few weeks before the Economist went big, went all in on saying that a solar singularity is effectively here, and a certainty and an abundant energy future is very near now, which it is. Thanks for watching.